Have you ever asked yourself how to be a man? Or what it takes to be a man? I'm sure it is a question most modern men have asked themselves at some point in their lives.
That what a man looks like?
However, 100 years ago, that question would be ridiculous to many. But I'm not here to ridicule you. Back then, everyone just knew what the answer was. However, things are different today because in modern society, majority of men are characterized and marked by an identity crisis. Today, the answers on how to be a man are riddled with speculations, false beliefs, as well as wrong expectations and ideas compared to 100 years ago, when everyone seemed to know what it took to be a man. Modern men are in a crisis when it comes to masculinity, and both men and women suffer the consequences. Most advices men hear from other men today relates to what is known as performative masculinity, which is a fancy term I use for behaviors that are learned to only superficially express masculinity in social situations. And although there is absolutely nothing wrong with knowing how to behave masculine, such advice is only a tip of the iceberg and does not resemble the true masculine energy in a man. In this video, I will discuss the two main attributes of essential masculinity and provide some guidelines how to shift your identity and regain your masculine energy.
Do you know what a duvet is?
Comfort.
It's a blanket. Just a blanket. Now, why do guys like you and I know what a duvet is? Is this essential to our survival in the hunter-gatherer sense of the word? No. What are we then?
We're, consumers.
Right.
One form of performative masculinity everyone knows about is macho masculinity. It is a performance based on an unwritten label as rules, standards, and social norms evolved over time. The thing is, this role of masculinity, same as femininity, is based on performative qualities, and neither are natural states of behavior. These superficial states of behavior are only shallow forms given to a particular time and place where these roles of masculinity and femininity can be learned and applied. Both forms are nothing more but skillful expressions of their respective roles of behaviors. These forms are only there to express and confirm status in men and women. None of them have anything relative to do with true masculine and feminine energy. Most of the answers you hear online from life coaches, influencers, and other content creators to the question of how to be a man correlate only with performative masculinity. You will mostly hear things that you can and should do to mark your status as a man using props, costumes, and postures. However, by doing so, you do not mark your status as a man, you mask your status. I'll give you some examples, things like learn how to behave like a Sigma, do semen retention, start a business, grow a beard and look like a Viking, learn how to seduce women, work out and gain muscle mass, go fishing and hunting, learn how to operate with firearms, etc. Don't get me wrong, I actually do not see a problem in any of those things. They can be fun and beneficial to everyone doing them. Yet I do believe that all of those answers do not properly define masculinity. They are based only on performance and a set of learned skills and behaviors. I have a completely different perspective on masculinity. I'm not a guy who is masculine in a performative sense. Generally speaking, people always believed I was in a somewhat feminized profession because I always enjoyed arts, designing, and other types of creative expression, rather than being involved in activities other men engaged in. I enjoy working with my hands. However, my current profession requires of me to work with technology and words. I was never too interested in sports, and I was never in a sports team. I never went fishing or hunting with my father. Rather, I preferred preparing food, writing, and organizing my household. However, that does not make me any less of a man. I'm extremely masculine, and what it truly means to be a man is only superficially related with how you look like or behave. When it comes down to it, I'm a man of my word and I take responsibility for what I say and do. Being a man is simpler than you think. You only need two things. You need a spine and you need balls. That's all there is.
All I have in this world is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. You understand?
If you have a spine and you have balls, that's all it takes to be a man. And I'm not talking in literal sense. Everyone has a spine and every male has balls. But how many men have you seen that just use it for decoration? Quite frankly, I met more women that have bigger balls than some men. My point is having a spine and a pair in figurative sense. It sounds simple, but it's not all that easy. Let's describe each one individually. First of all, what does it mean to have a spine? Having a spine means you are willing to stand up for yourself. We all know that anatomically, you need a spine to stand straight. And in a figurative sense, you need a spine to stand up for what you believe is true in your core.
Grow a fucking spine!
Your sense of who you are and all that means you stand firmly for what you know and believe to be true. This isn't easy for most people, and here's why. Most of the beliefs in their head were placed there by other people, and honestly, majority of that stuff is complete trash. For most, it can take years and years of patience and deep self-study to fully realize what they believe and stand up for. Younger guys tend to get a pass here, although it's crucial to understand that we end up making their jobs a lot harder by spamming them with so much distracting nonsense on social media, only making their path of self-actualization much more complicated than it ought to be. On the other hand, I know many older guys who are my friends, men who I regularly speak and hang out with, and who still don't know what their values are and don't know what they believe in because they are just as confused by modern-day philosophies. That being said, they do not know who they are. And how can you stand up for a cause if you don't know what that cause is? Here's another interesting fact. Having a spine, having a strong sense of self, helps you understand your place in the universe. As soon as you stand up, you cast a shadow which situates you in a specific place between the heavens, literally between the sun and the earth. Unless you are perfectly aligned with the light, it's impossible to avoid casting a shadow in this world. The moment you stand up for what you believe in and understand who you are, you begin to draw in opposition to your stance. People will challenge you, disagree, and disapprove of you. Some will despise and some will even hate you. The taller you stand, the more some people will threaten, attack, and seek to tear you down. This is all a fraction of the risk of standing up for yourself. On the other hand, this is why everyone respects those who stand up for themselves and what they believe is right, regardless of the personal risks in doing so. The alternative to remaining spineless doesn't bring great benefits either. When people go through life, hiding from any conflict and trying to please everyone, they bring more risks than rewards into their life. If you never find out who you are and what you believe in, you will never earn your place under the sun. And this happens because these people weren't willing to stand up for what they believe in, develop an attitude and say, "This is me. This is who I am." And to do so, most people miss the second ingredient, a pair of balls.
Show me you got some big cojones, and not some little bitty chiquita ones.
Having a pair means you are willing to face the risks head-on that come with being true to yourself. And that means becoming a strong individual with unshakable values and beliefs. Develop an attitude of not giving a fuck whether someone agrees or disagrees with you. Stand firm and don't allow anyone to change your opinions. Do not give a fuck whether someone approves or disapproves your actions and your opinions. Do not give a fuck if someone loves or hates you. Put your money where your mouth is and stand firm against all odds. Take responsibility for your words and actions. If necessary, put your status, your reputation, your career, your goals, your money, your relationships, and even your life on the line to stand up for what you believe is true. If you have a spine but no balls, you'll spend your life in avoidance. Avoiding your friends, women, and most importantly, avoiding your true self. I'll be transparent with you. There isn't much you can do for others to earn true respect. Just as you can't force someone to fall in love with you, you can't make someone respect you if they've decided not to. You don't need to break your back trying to please people in their every wish and whim in order for them to respect you. You don't need to agree with everything they say, same as you are not obliged to flatter and compliment them in order to earn their respect. The only true way you can earn real respect from men and women is by speaking your mind. Everyone respects those who are willing to stand up and hold the line for what they believe in, regardless of the consequences. It's a paradox, a reversible law. We like and respect more those individuals who just don't seem to care whether we like them or not. They just speak their mind and are not afraid of the consequences. And whatever feedback and treatment these people get, they stand unshaken. In contrast, We typically have neither appreciation nor respect for those who do things for us just so that we might like them. To wrap this up, if you know who you are, what you believe to be true, you know your passions and are willing to stand up and risk it all in the service of those beliefs and your mission, then congratulations, my friend. You are a person of strength and conviction. There's no need to grow a beard and muscles, put on tattoos. You do not need to go hunting or bother with sports or drink everyone under the table. You don't need to bed every woman in town to show everyone you are the man. All you truly need is a spine and a pair of balls. If you have all the other things, but you lack spine and balls, then you're not a man, merely a poser. And if you have none of those props, masks, and costumes, but you do have an erect spine and steel balls, then you're a fully realized man. I hope this video has shed some light on how to be a man. What do you think? Does this incorporate with your own experience? And if you would like more content like this, please let me know in the comments. As always, thank you for your time to watch this video. If you have found this video to be useful, click the like button, subscribe, and share it with everyone you think might find it beneficial. And together, let us bring back the true masculine power. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.
Right. We are consumers. We are byproducts of a lifestyle obsession. Murder, crime, poverty, these things don't concern me. What concerns me are celebrity magazines, television with 500 channels, some guy's name on my underwear, Rogaine, Viagra,